For the sake of this video and being unaffiliated with any particular law enforcement agency or school or anything of that nature, I want to keep it on the Sandy Hook Wikipedia page because it's something that, as police officers and school officials, that we're all familiar with. About 2 years ago, I was permanently assigned as the school resource officer to a school within the city that I work for, and it was not too long after I was assigned to the school that I was familiarizing myself with the campus and the outlay and the ins and outs and entrances and exits and just everything that goes along with being on campus pretty much all day, every day. And I realized that the teachers cannot lock their classroom doors from the inside. They have to go outside into the hallway, which is shown here as this is the outside, the hallway side of the door. They have to go outside to lock the door here in the keyhole. This is the inside, and you can see here there's no thumb roll lock or keyhole anywhere from the inside. So which means they would have to either open the door wide enough to step out and lock the door with the key, or go outside into the hallway and possibly be in the path of an intruder or active shooter, whatever the case is. So after it literally woke me up at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning on a way to fix this, after I talked to the local contractor, kind of the go-to guy here in the area that I work in, he does industrial type door locks and stuff like that. He said that to change the campus for all the doors to have locks from the inside would be about $100,000. So that's when I began my quest on how to come up with something different. And this is what I came up with. You can see these are just spent gift cards from Walmart. This is Velcro, double-sided or sticky side Velcro. Just regular string. This is some industrial type glue. These are little magnets that have a scientific name of neodymium magnets, I guess is how you say it. But they're called rare earth magnets. But I guess the scientific name is neodymium. But here's 100 of them on eBay for a buy it now price of $10.78. So you got 100 of them. So they're pretty cheap. That was the most cost that I incurred. And then you have just a nut, and it has to be a specific size, and I'll show you that in just a minute. And this was my solution. The teachers keep the doors locked at all times. They're locked. They stay locked. But the students, after about 2 classes of changing, they realize they're not really locked. They're just a push-pull door. And what happens is you take the gift card, put Velcro on it, put Velcro on the striker plate there, which it does not affect when you close it. What it does is the striker just cannot engage the striker plate, making it just a push-pull door. The PA, the announcement is made that going into a lockdown situation, there's an intruder or whatever the case may be on campus. What the teacher does is comes over here, pulls the card, and the door is immediately locked. And since it's locked on the outside, it is locked, and that's instant. And that's the problem that I came up with, though, on some of the doors are there wasn't enough gap to put a card with Velcro in it. And the way that I got around that is I took the nut and put a little dab of the E6000, the glue, on the nut, put the magnet right there, and that's not necessary. The only reason I did that is because the teachers in the afternoon when they would leave for the day, they would pull the string, and the magnet would run up and down the door frame. So that's why I put the glue on that, so it just stays as one piece at all times. And how this works is, again, it's a push-pull. It's locked at all times. You have the nut up there in the door frame, and it keeps the striker plate or striker from engaging the striker plate. And this is from the inside. The announcement to go into lockdown mode is made. You come over here, you pull this, and the door is locked. And there's, of course, it's unlocked from this side, but this side is still locked, and it engages, and it's locked from the outside. And I spoke to the local fire inspector, and as long as nothing impedes the function of the door, where you have to add another step or anything to get out in the event of a fire, everything passes fire inspection. There's products out there for sale that run anywhere from $20 to $150, probably even more than that. I didn't do a lot of research on it because I was trying to get by with spending as least as possible, and like I said before, I did the entire school for about $20, and it's worked. My first concern was that kids would take the cards or the strings or whatever, and it's luckily I have enough support from the administration to where it was announced that if the kids were caught taking anything, either the card or the string, that it would be an automatic suspension. But we luckily hadn't had any problems with that. The cards from time to time will wear out, but they're cheap enough. I've got a surplus of these. I've probably got 200 of them. I just went to my local Walmart, and they gave me all the ones that they save up that the customers leave behind, and I've got a surplus of them. And I've got extra magnets left that I didn't use. The nuts have to be a certain size to be able to work. And another reason that I put the magnet on the nut itself is so that it can only be used one way, and and it's used with this being on the door frame, and the door actually hitting this side. That way it don't wear out the string, and I put a little dab of glue on it so the string stays still. But other than that, there's really no concern on anything. But everything has worked fine, and hopefully you can get some kind of use out of this, instead of either not having to spend a lot of money, or to actually have, in the event of a lockdown, that it would be a lot faster and hopefully a lot safer.